Your Grow Nebraska weather for the week ahead has kind of been trending this way all season long, and that is these fronts that move east across the state and then stall out. And it seems like eastern Nebraska, eastern Kansas never get above those normal or average season highs for this time of year. That's kind of what we're looking at in the week ahead. On average, temperatures in eastern and Nebraska and eastern Kansas appearing to be below average. Equal chances elsewhere in the state, and overall really in central Nebraska and the western part of the state, we actually expect those temperatures to be above normal. As far as temperatures are concerned for the next month out, below average across basically the eastern two-thirds of Nebraska and the eastern third of Kansas. We'll see if that materializes. Not much of a change here on the 3-month outlook. Equal chances for Nebraska and Kansas to be average for the 3 months ahead of us, and above average through the deep south and through the western states as well. And they're pretty definite about that picture. And then below average as far as precipitation is concerned for the next 6 to 10 days. And that just kind of falls right in the drought situation. And that's also what we look at in the week ahead or so, is very little chances out there as far as precipitation is concerned. 30-day moisture-wise, Nebraska and Kansas, equal chances out there. And for the next 3 months, near average, near normal. That is good. We could at least use that much rain to kind of pull us out of this drought situation. There are parts, obviously, of Nebraska doing quite well, and that would be the northern tier counties of the state, the southwest Nebraska panhandle, a little sliver of southeast Nebraska, and a big share of northeast Kansas. No drought, abnormally dry over the eastern third of Nebraska and a big share of eastern Kansas. It is moderate as we head up into the Sandhills, into southwest Nebraska. The worst part of the drought appears again this week to be in southwest Nebraska and the northwest corner of Kansas. So we desperately need some moisture. As far as the drought monitor is concerned, you see it there. Those are the numbers. It's updated every Thursday. 4.34% extreme Nebraska, severe 26% in Kansas, almost 8% extreme, and 43% severe. Well, we see the week ahead, the average should be around 48 degrees for high and lows around 25, but this is going to be our average. We're going to be a little bit above normal as far as highs are concerned, and a little bit above normal as far as overnight lows are concerned. Here is the proverb for this week. No weather is ill when the winds are still. And do we ever have still winds in Nebraska? But it's not blowing up any rain here lately. We sure could use some. That is your Grow weather for this week. You sent some pictures our way. Here they are.
Of course, don't forget, we want to see your pictures. Recently, we've been asking for calving pictures, so if you have pictures of those calves, we'd love to see them. Lambs as well. If you have a sheep operation, we'd like to see that too. Go ahead and you can send those pictures to grow@nebraska.tv. You could also get in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter. And now we're going to take a look at the markets and maybe give you some insight on what might be your next move. We want to explain what's really going on in the market, and Jess Peterson joining us from Heartland Farm Partners. And first of all, we talked earlier about Ukraine and all the uprising that's going on there and the tensions really. Is that impacting the markets?
You know, it is. We're seeing it even over in the grain markets. That's having a big impact. As a matter of fact, when we came in on Monday morning, what we saw is corn prices were up about 17 cents a bushel just because of the uncertainty over there, and beans are up 22. Now, by the end of the day, things were kind of calming down in the grain markets, and we pulled back where corn was only up about 7. Beans were actually down. But that whole area is very important to production. The Ukraine's about the #3 world exporter of corn and the #6 world exporter of wheat. So it's very important. In addition, Russia, because they produce about 12% of the world's energy, if there would be any additional problems and there'd be sanctions, that has an impact on the markets.
And soybeans have really been kind of driving everything, right? How does that work?
Yeah, it does. You know, prior to the Crimean situation and the Ukraine coming along, they were driving the market. We have a situation there right now where actually we've already sold more exports to other countries than what USDA thought we would for the whole year. We're at about 109% of what their estimate is. That only happened one other time, back in 1974. 142%, so that's been a long time ago.
That has been a long time.
Now, the only problem with that is that we need to ration demand so we have enough beans. There's plenty of beans in the world, but we need to ration them here, and in order to ration those, we need to take prices a little higher yet. And once we can go ahead and get prices higher, our hope is that then we'll start seeing some exports in cancellations actually show up, and so far that hasn't happened.
After the break, meet the farm family of the month. Don't go anywhere.